You see lots of Titan videos on YouTube within the 40k lore channels that talk about the Psi Titan, the tallest Titan, etc. One I came across that is lesser discussed, to my eyes, is the Abominatus, also known as the Despoiler of Worlds. This massive beast is half Bloodthirster of Khorne and half Emperor Titan. So welcome friends to another 40k video, and let's begin. So why is this combination so terrifying? In brief, an Emperor Titan is the largest type employed by the Imperium. These gigantic forces of the Emperor's will are protected by enormous void shields and weapons so powerful it could crack the land it walks on. And this is brought into union through some vile unspeakable ceremony with a Bloodthirster. These are the greater demons of Khorne, the most powerful of his servants, and these beasts bring a savage and unending bloodlust to the battlefield. This lore has very limited sources. I'm using the Citadel Journal issue 13 to bring it to you. The Abominatus is one of the most terrifying servants of Khorne. When it walks, the ground shakes beneath its steel-shod feet. The enemies of the blood god quail in fear. The Chaos Titan wields fire and steel against its foes, with flames and gunsmoke flickering from each casement and embrasure in its massive body. Its soul burns with the unquenchable fire of a demon's hate. Due to its allegiance with the blood god, the Titan has certain drives others do not. It is forever driven forward by furious advance. It must always advance towards the enemy, towards combat, towards the moment it can unleash its power against the enemies of Khorne. It's protected by Khorne's shield. The combined benefits of the Titan and the Bloodthirster mean it is very resistant to a psychic attack. If the battle goes well for the power of chaos, the Titan's power increases, and as it stalks around the battlefield, the Abominatus gives out a war howl. The terrifying bellow of rage and anguish can be heard menacingly across the battlefield. This can break the units that face the demon Titan. Much like its Imperium's namesake, it also carries an arsenal of powerful weapons, strong enough to make Khorne weep with joy. Its main armaments are the Hellstorm Cannon and the Plasma Annihilator, along with its main battery functions in an identical fashion to the Imperial counterpart. The weapons carried on its main fighting platform are different. The Blood Cannon can wipe out buildings with its Inferno. The lava-like demon blood flows over and around cover of any trying to escape its fiery grasp. Then the Scorpion Cannon. This can normally be seen on demon engines of Khorne. The lethal multi-barreled weapon is most dangerous when used in close assaults. It also has another option when up close, Manglers. These huge battle claws can sweep aside tanks and flay enemy titans into twisted metal. Enemies approaching to assault the feet of the Titan will also face a good thrashing with bolters and heavy bolters. They are controlled by automated systems that lurk in blister turrets and firing slits all over the bastions and upper fortress of this beast. The demonic origins of this amalgam allow it to pick up any movement close to the Titan and identify its origin. Friendly troops are ignored, but enemy troops are shredded by volleys of explosive bolts. With these bolters, so long as energy is supplied to its firepower center, it can use them. Then we have the Hellstorm Cannon. This is a huge gun with 6 rotating barrels. Seen from a distance, the barrels seem to turn at an almost leisurely rate, but the giant shells they spew out quickly rend the target apart in a storm of fire explosions and scything shrapnel. Such is the fire laid down by the Hellstorm Cannon that whole swaths of the battlefield turn into an inferno of smoke and flames. The cannon is often mounted in combination with a Plasma Annihilator. This provides the Titan with a deadly area fire capability, combined with the point effect devastation of plasma weaponry. Though the cannon has a limited ammo supply, it requires little energy to fire. This is a factor which has allowed Abominatus to crush many enemies despite having found itself starved of power at critical moments. Yes, there is more. They have main batteries, hellishly large bore cannons or mortars. Each shell often the height and width of a man or more is marked with foul cornate runes and curses before being manhandled into the breach for firing. And there we have a small mention. There are actually warped people within this thing, perhaps the crew that piloted it when it was loyal to the Imperium even. Next we cover one of those guns from earlier, the Plasma Annihilator. It's amongst the deadliest weapons fitted to a land-based fighting machine. It takes raw, seething plasma directly from a Titan's reactor, accelerates it through a series of electromagnetic fields, and fires it as blinding, white-hot bolts of destruction. As well as a rapid rate of fire, the plasma annihilator has great range and accuracy. The high-pitched whine of the annihilator's electromagnetic coils building up for discharge has been known to send whole enemy formations fleeing in terror before the weapon is even unleashed. The only limitation on this weapon is its requirement for plasma from the reactor chamber. The Abominatus rarely finds itself in the position of being able to fully charge the annihilator without seriously compromising supplies to the rest of the Titan. We are still not done. It has an array of secondary weapons. They stood the outer carapace of the despoiler of worlds. Rapid-fire cannons jut from the casements and barbettes. Las cannons swivel in turrets and on platforms. As Abominatus strides into battle, its silhouette is lit with myriad flashes of its secondary weapons, spewing death at the enemy. So that's the lore for these menacing behemoths of the battlefield, as outlined in the Citadel Citadel Journal. There's one other grain of lore to share. That's the number of these things, still held within the arsenal of the traitor legions. They are, by all accounts, rarely encountered, and those that do exist will be hidden in the Eye of Terror to give a heck of a wake-up call to the Emperor's forces. I'd love to see one fight a Psi Titan. That would be a sight to behold. And that's the extent of the lore for this awesome Titan. I'd love to see the ceremony merging one with the other of its constituent parts, just dropped into a story to show what it can do. In the same way the Psi Titan is mostly in the Heresy Black books, we have one short story about it. Perhaps we could have one about the Abominatus one day. That would be awesome. I was lucky enough to find a site where the Citadel journals are scanned and stored. That allowed me to make this video, so let me know what you think to this lore and the concept behind it with a comment. I wanted to make this video for ages, but it was hard to find a source and I kept putting it off, but was feeling it today, so here we are. Now let's do the outro. And if you like this video on 40k, then why not try this one? And if you want a number of videos on 40k, then why not try the playlist on the channel? I have two. One focuses on videos I've made on the dark age of technology, a favourite subject of mine. The other covers everything. The second subject I actively cover is Trench Crusade, which shares a lot of real world influence with 40k. Then there is Dune, which I did loads of videos on, and I will return to when I have something fresh to say. And what I'm currently working on, I'm dividing up Ashes of the Imperium, the first book in the Scouring series, into subjects that interest me to make videos on. Just doing a video on the Selenar and the Astartes they mass-produced to fight off the Loyalist forces trying to retake Luna. I'm rereading Archmagos by Guy Haley, where Khorne makes a trek down to a Necron war world to try and retrieve knowledge. So that's another idea, and some others I'm tinkering with going forward. So that's your video, guys. Have a nice day.